In business lunch with some views coming in from the RBI governor, and Shaktikanta defended the flexible inflation targeting, saying that it is one of the 6 major reforms that has strengthened the Indian economy. This is an important statement as it comes a day after the chief economic advisor had argued that India should revert to the pre-inflation targeting method of monetary policy making. Listen in.
The headline inflation that matters. It is the headline inflation, with food inflation having a weight of 46% in the headline inflation, which the people understand. The balance between inflation and growth is now well poised. The balance between inflation and growth is well poised. You know, our monetary policy, the legal framework which the enactment in the Reserve Bank of India Act has mandated the Reserve Bank to achieve, is to maintain price stability, which is defined in terms of maintaining inflation at 4% with a tolerance band of 2% on either side. That is, it should remain between 2 to 6%, but the target is 4%. We must successfully navigate the last mile of disinflation and preserve the credibility of flexible inflation targeting framework, which is a major structural reform. The best contribution that monetary policy can make for sustainable growth is to maintain price stability.
Now, Governor Das also said that India's growth remains robust despite the challenges. He also urged the private sector to ramp up its investments into the economy.
The Indian economy, as all of you would know, rebounded strongly from the COVID-19 induced contraction, growing at an impressive annual average of 8.3% in the last 3 years. I think the projections made by all the agencies, international agencies, as well as the Reserve Bank, I think our perceptions and projections are converging. Structural drivers are playing a bigger role in India's macroeconomic outcomes. It is time for the private corporate sector to also come forward in a big way. There are signs of private sector investment happening in a number of sectors, as I listed out, but I think the scope can be more, and it is for the private sector players to really take their own call. I'm no one to give advice on this issue, but from a regulator's perspective, and from the perspective of where our economy stands, from the perspective of the opportunities that lie ahead, from the perspective of the outlook that we have ahead of us, I think it is time also for the private sector to ponder, to consider, and step up their investment in their respective businesses.
And the RBI governor there pushing the private sector to step up on the capex. But a couple of other